Vinicius Junior making these comments, it's just like there has to be some moments of like something more important than you, something bigger than you.
This is massive for so many reasons. And then Vinny sort of puts it on himself, tries to take a little bit of the shine away.
Let's start today's show with a Clásico. Real Madrid, they snap a 5-game losing streak to Barcelona, but it wasn't without some drama. Vinicius Junior was upset about being subbed out, but the question has to be asked, is Real Madrid better without Vinicius Junior? And that is why it is today's top topic.
This is the top topic.
I think that is what stood out to me in this game because Real Madrid, I think, won this game handily. It was a good game, a close game that could have been lopsided in either direction. But he gets subbed off around the 74th, 75th minute, and he is upset, really angry. And this, I didn't really think much of it. And I could have kind of moved past it. I'm like, oh, he's upset. You know, he's competitive. You know, you live with that. But what ended up happening, and we saw this quote from One Football. Shout out to One Football. Quote, "I'm leaving the team. It's better if I leave." So this is very much pouting. You're getting subbed out like, if you don't want me here, I'm gonna leave, right? So most of the time, you're just like, okay, he's kind of whining about nothing. But he walks off. He doesn't even look at Xabi Alonso. So you wonder, I'm like, is this a problem? Is it a distraction? You know, when Mbappe got to the team, we were worried like, oh, is this going to be a good fit, Mbappe as a striker or whatever? Mbappe's been, especially in that game, was fantastic. But now you have to ask the question.
He's incredible.
Would they be better, I think, if without Vinicius Junior? What do you think?
I'd say the term better. All right, so there's like two types of ways to answer this. Like functionally, right? Like on the pitch as a team, you know, effectively instituting Xabi Alonso's tactics. Would they be better without Vinicius Junior? I think they'd still be good. I don't think they'd be better. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
I think in a way, the other side of that coin is the drama and the need to coddle this man every time. Look, he's only been left out of the starting lineup 3 times. Sure, it's the start of the season. That may sound like a lot, but if the kid's flipping out over being substituted and, you know, when he doesn't start every single game, I get the burning desire to play. I understand how competitive these guys are, but the circus that surrounds him and a lot of it he creates, and a lot of it I think is used in good nature because it benefits the team more than the opponent. It's there to put off the opponent. I love how much of a catalyst and a spark plug he is. I love how he gets under other people's skin without having to poke at them, just by being a bigger version of himself. The problem becomes when it starts to affect your locker room, your team, the coach. And if Rodrigo's pretty good on the left, buddy, you might want to calm it down, and you might want to take a step back, and you might want to buy Arda Güler a new car so that he passes to you and not Mbappe.
Look, I know Vinicius Junior, he can be a bit of a distraction, but I need you to focus right now and hit the like button on this video so you can share it with other people. Yeah, it's not having the distraction might be a bit better. And again, if I didn't see that quote, I really wouldn't think much of it. I don't even know how serious he was. I don't exactly know the context. I didn't see him say that into a microphone as he's upset and frustrated. So I don't exactly know how to take that. But it's weird when you have a pretty good game, you get subbed out. It's a close game. I'm sure Xabi Alonso wants to get some fresh legs in there, defend a little bit more maybe. And to have a comment like that come out, especially after this game, you know, started with a lot of drama with Lamine Yamal. And did you see the Kings League comments? I don't know if you saw them, Alex.
No.
So Lamine Yamal was at Kings League, and this is don't go to Kings League the week of El Clásico. That's it. That has to be the new standard for either team, because what happens in Kings League, right? They're streaming, all the streamers are talking crap and blah blah blah, and then one of the one of the guys was like, "Oh yeah, Real Madrid, they're a bunch of cheats. They're it's always a robbery with them and the refs and blah blah blah." And Lamine Yamal was like, "Yeah, bro, you know how it is." Like, and he agreed with
He's
it.
like, bro, it's crazy. Imagine what I got to deal with on that field with them.
So that's why
damn.
Danny Carvajal towards the end of the game was like, habla demasiado. You talk too much. You talk too much. And then same thing. And Vinicius Junior,
I would have said, bro, you watching too much. Why you watching streamers, Danny?
bro,
You 40 years old.
you can't be having gray hair watching Twitch, dog. That ain't how it works.
Damn, dog. Just because your boy Kun Agüero can't leave the screen doesn't mean you have to watch it all.
So it's like I think Real Madrid played, it gave them that bulletin board material, and I think it showed. I mean, they were great. I mean, if it wasn't for a couple offside calls, that this game could have been 4-5-1, favoring Real Madrid. So it's like Vinicius Junior making these comments. It's just like, bro, like there has to be some moments of like something more important than you, something bigger than you, to direct all the focus on yourself and being like, I'm leaving the team. I'll be, you'll be better without me or whatever, things will be better without me. Is without a doubt like childish and silly,
Yeah.
and it really takes away from his performance because he helped the team win that game for sure.
It also takes the focus away from Xabi Alonso, who, had a rough one. What is this? The first win in 5 against Barcelona in the last 5. This is massive for Xabi Alonso. This is massive for Mbappe's development. This is massive for Arda Güler, who's really come on this season. This is massive for so many reasons. Also, I think it's massive for the sport and for La Liga, because the majority of the games that people watch in La Liga are the Clásicos. And when it's, Barcelona winning them all, there only seems to be one half of the world that really cares about that. The other half is like, bro, this is really frustrating, and they don't watch. Now you have a competitive game. This is probably the biggest match outside of a Champions League final, you know what I mean, in club football. So this is important for everyone. And then Vinny sort of puts it on himself, tries to take a little bit of the shine away. I will also say, though, that it seems like Vinny and Lamine Yamal are kind of, the Spider-Man meme. You feel me? Like they're both doing things that sort of spark, they're catalysts for arguing.
If one player can, I feel like there's no two players in the world that can understand what they go through, like have similar experiences. I understand the rivalry, but then you talk too much crap, and it's like, well, yeah, you flew your family out for the Ballon d'Or and you didn't even win, and blah,
Right.
like
Two parties? 2 parties for the Ballon d'Or?
I feel like y'all should be like understanding of each other.
It's a bit much, but I will say this is what I like about a Clásico is that now, after a great 90 minutes, we still got more to talk about.
Sure.
There were 5 cards. What is it, 4 yellow cards and 1 red card? Handed out after the game, baby.
Yeah. No,
The Clásico's back. Football's back.
The red Pedri getting that second yellow gets him sent off. But just in this game, just a couple shouts on some specific performances. I thought Marcus Rashford in his first Clásico, you have to start even. I mean, Rafinha is probably the better option, yes, when he comes back from injury, but Rashford has been like doing his thing, man. He looks good there, and he looks good.
Yeah, dude.
Playing for Barcelona, playing in Spain, and in Champions League, like I didn't think he would settle in, because we have all the bias of watching him at Manchester United, but he like he's holding his own.
Yeah, I mean, that tells me that he probably should go to another club, right? Maybe his time at Barcelona is short. Rafinha comes back. Maybe they have other options next season. Or maybe they don't, because it turns out they haven't paid anybody for any other transfers.
He's made comments that he does want to stay after his loan is over.
Sure, but what I'm saying is he's proven that he was better than how he looked at Manchester United.
Yeah.
So maybe there's another team that comes in for him if he can't stay at Barcelona. Hopefully he can, because it seems like it suits him well.
Sure. The other on the other side, I did think Steenhausen, who I've talked about before, is I'm not fully sold on this young kid.
Why?
Center back,
because he makes a bunch of mistakes.
He's just a little reckless, and I understand that that's part of his game. I mean, he almost had a goal there as well, but and he didn't have a terrible game, but there's just a little bit of concern there of like, is this too much too soon? But outside of that, I thought, Real Madrid, I think they deserved to win that game. Barcelona had opportunities to at least get a draw. Jules Koundé, don't know why you chest that ball down and not just you're a center back, or you're a defender, just go for it.
Yeah,
So
you're a
I think he
fullback.
was
Yeah.
thought he was Lionel Messi there for a second, and taking that touch. Anyway,
You know,
um,
also Arda Guler, by the way, he's making the 10 come back. It seemed like MLS is really the only place that has really 10s anymore. It feels like
mhm.
no one plays with the 10. Arda Guler is showing the world, bruh, there's some players out there that can be playing this. How old is he? 19 years old? To get a standing ovation coming off when you're getting substituted is amazing. And for him to only get, I think I looked at FOMOB, if I'm not mistaken, he got like a 6.6 or a 6.5.
6.5, yeah.
It's crazy. What metrics are you using?
I mean, maybe leaving, I don't know, somewhat early in the game. I don't know why. Yeah, he was the
Crazy. He got a
lowest
standing
rated player
ovation.
on for Real
Got a
Madrid according to
standing
FOMO.
ovation.
You-
It's crazy.
It's weird to get a standing O when your little rating is
Yeah.
orange on there on FOMO.
Everyone's clapping. They're like, damn, he must have crushed. No, he bombed. It was pretty terrible out there.
But no, we love him. We love him. Yeah, an entertaining a Clásico. So, all right, let's take a quick break, and we gotta get into MLS playoffs because there were a lot of games over the weekend. So let's get to that right after this.
Let's go around the league, especially in MLS. The MLS 2025 MLS Cup playoffs are in full swing. We had triple header of some of the first round matches. Philly surviving at home in PKs. Are you worried at all about Philly?
I was watching when Jack Elliott scored that goal. I'm like, a former Union
Hey, he
player
didn't celebrate.
didn't celebrate.
He didn't celebrate. He stood firm.
Yeah, but a former Union player doing the things that tend to happen for the Philadelphia Union in the playoffs. So we all remember the golazo from Jacob Glesnes against Red Bull a couple years ago in the playoffs. The it was concerning because Chicago looked like they really didn't have anything or much of anything in that game. The pressure from the Philadelphia Union, I think, got to a lot of the Fire players, but the there's something, especially when you go down 2-0 in a game where you don't, it's best of three. You could just be like, all right, let's just wait, move on, wait for the next game, and we're gonna be at home, and let's try to even the series up. For them to still show that heart and fight just to tie it and take it to penalties, I thought was tremendous for the Fire, and then worrisome for the Philadelphia Union because they made all the substitutions and they took their foot off the gas because they think a 2-0 lead, we're good. Luckily, it all worked out in penalties. Waterman hits the crossbar and whatever, so they end up winning. But yeah, a little bit of concern for at home to give up that lead and make things much scarier than they need to be. So we'll see how they do.
For me,
away.
it came across to me as like, all right, Greg Berhalter was like throwing a couple jabs just to see what comes at him. You know what I mean? And it feels like the second match is going to be very different because I kind of agree with you, right? Maybe Chicago looks a little lost, but towards the second half of the match, especially towards the end, it kind of seemed like they figured it out. Also, it was exciting as hell. It was back and forth. This is kind of what I like to see. This felt more. It just felt more like a basketball game than a soccer game. This was back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah,
And for me,
I was gonna say, go
for me, Bamba looked pretty good. But if Kuipers could figure out how to, not hit the post, if Kuipers could figure out how to get the ball on frame, we're looking pretty good.
I also don't,
or they're looking pretty good.
I don't get the decision to not start Brian Gutierrez. I don't really get it. I think he's
He
not
played
their
really
best
well
player,
the
but
last
maybe their
match.
second best player. I don't know if he's dealing with injury. I don't know if this is just a coach's decision. It doesn't. I mean, he's a great player. I don't really. I can't comprehend why he is not starting and not impacting the game much sooner, because he gets in the game in the second half, and I believe that the 2 goals came after he got into the game, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, odd decision. I don't know what the point of that is. So we'll see if he starts when they're at home. I think the game is the game going to be at Soldier Field, or is it going to be at the other
I'm
stadium,
not sure, but I
SeatGeek
could
Stadium,
take a
where
look.
they play. So in Bridgeview,
I could take a look at their fixtures and let you know.
So yeah, I'm a little slight concern for the Philadelphia Union, because we, I think what is it, the only 2 of the Supporter Shield winners in the last like 12 years or something like that have won MLS Cup, so not a great start to their
It's
to
a
their playoff.
poison pill, you're saying?
Okay, we're getting it's a little, they're sneaking it into the budget. A little politics.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Next up, we're gonna skip Vancouver Dallas, because that was one of the I don't think Dallas is aware that they qualified for the playoffs. That game, I don't even understand.
You know what? This idea of letting the fans play in the match, I thought was a bit of a mistake. You got to
They
get the
don't
pros
even-
out there.
I understand it's very thoughtful, but it doesn't necessarily give you the best product on the field.
Oh, wow.
But no, I credit to Vancouver. They were fantastic. I mean, again, beautiful. We were on with Kevin Egan the other day, and I said, like, Vancouver, I think, has a real shot of winning MLS Cup, and I think they showed that in this game. And it's interesting.
Did you see the
finished.
Did you see the
Let me
Thomas
finish this.
Mueller interview with
What? Go ahead. Say it.
I said, did you see the Thomas Mueller interview with Kalen Carr at the end of the match?
I didn't.
Kalen Carr asked one question. Thomas Mueller just took it wherever he wanted. He was like, he started giving away team secrets. He's like, all right, enough team secrets. And then he goes, hey, let's bring in another player. And Kalen Carr was only supposed to interview him. He was like, sure, okay.
Hilarious.
They just had to cut the feed.
Thomas Mueller is producing MLS season pass now.
He's doing whatever he wants, and I love it.
But the point I was gonna make is that Vancouver, they got a red card on decision day, and they ended up missing out on winning the Western Conference. Arguably, they got the better matchup. They're playing against Dallas, and San Diego's playing against Portland. I think Portland is probably a stronger, worse.
Yeah, but we missed out on a Cascadia playoff series.
Right.
3 matches.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
But still,
And Portland didn't look too bad against San Diego. San Diego looked pretty damn good, but down a man, they were still getting chances.
right. In the first half, I thought San Diego was much better. Portland did. I think they tied it, right? No, they scored. They scored in the first half or the second half. I don't remember.
They scored in the 36th minute.
Okay. The Portland did, right? Yeah. The first like 20 minutes of the game were like, I don't think Portland was ready for what they were about to face. And it's also interesting too, because I think we didn't know this when we recorded last time, but Chucky Lozano left off of the roster for this game. He does show up to the game, but he's left out. He puts out a statement saying that he cares about the team, and sometimes his decisions are not always right. I'm very much paraphrasing. I don't know if this is true or not, but people were saying that the statement was written by ChatGPT, that he did not.
Hilarious.
He did not. Which I guess there's like a ChatGPT scanner of your text. I don't know exactly how it.
Yeah. There's a website you can copy and paste something into, and it'll tell you if ChatGPT wrote it.
Sure. So, who knows how genuine it all is? We don't know exactly what happened. He got substituted out in the game before decision day, the penultimate game, and he was really upset. Pulled a Vinicius Junior, and now he's not playing in the playoffs. So, and
yeah, but
so,
I don't know if you saw at the end of the match. What's his name? Mickey Vara said that he did what he was supposed to do, and that Mickey Vara said he will welcome him back into the team for the next match. So short-lived, not really an issue. Didn't look like they needed him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like I could
either.
ask the same question that I asked about Vinicius. Is this team better without Chucky Lozano? Right? If they kind
No,
of
I mean you always want to have a player of his caliber on the team. The player that impressed me the most, I already kind of knew what Dreyer was going to do. I kind of am still shocked that Anibal Godoy is still doing it, man. At 35
Godoy
years
was
old,
fantastic.
incredible. But no one on that pitch was better than Bombino, Luca Bombino, bro. This kid is 19 years old. He has the eyes of someone who will get his child back from the guy who stole it. He's got these big wide eyes. This kid is so good. I was so happy to find out he was American.
Also,
oh my god,
just a great
dude.
name as well.
Lucas Bombino.
Bombino is just my man was born on a pizza.
This guy, they shaved his they shaved over him his baptism. You know what I mean? Instead of dipping him in the water, they shaved it like Parmesan. This kid, I swear to Christ,
my man.
They come in, everyone's eating quinoa, he gets chicken parm.
My man.
That's the staff is prepared for him.
As soon as his mom gave birth, he was wrapped in a calzone, bro.
You know what came out of the womb first? This right here. he didn't crown. His hand came out with all his fingers pressed together.
Yeah.
Yo, his first word was Maron. I mean, this kid,
my man.
Lucas Bombino, he is an incredible player. He's just one of those guys that he's like a defender that sort of guts it out, but has all the technical skill. Really impressed with San Diego all around.
Yeah, I thought they were great. I mean, the second half, if Portland don't get that Forey, if he doesn't get that second yellow, I think they probably tie the game. I mean, I thought they were strong in those first 30 minutes, and then Portland had every opportunity to at least take the game into penalties. Who was it that?
That's mostly
Kamal
because
Miller.
of Christopher Verde would not let this team lose in any way, shape, or form. This guy is. This is the angriest Norwegian I've met in my life. This guy is so angry, so intense.
I thought the first goal from Valakari, the shot gets deflected, bounces off the post, and apparently there's a magnet in the ball. The ball just magnetizes to this dude's foot as he just stomps right on it and then hits it right back into the goal. It's just like, I think people don't realize how difficult it is to do that. That is not, it's all happening so fast. And the fact that he just, boom, stops the ball, I think everybody was like, oh my God, why does he have it? And why is he not like taking a touch to control it? And he just taps it
also,
in.
why is he in front of everybody else? How is he not offside?
Right.
I watched that replay going, I can't believe he wasn't offside because there was nobody near him.
Yeah. So impressive. All right. We have to talk about Inter Miami against Nashville. That game happened on Friday. Inter Miami and Messi brace the diving header. I'm like, this dude wants. I mean, like, why are you so thirsty for MLS Cup, bro? Why is
MLS Cup
Messi
don't even. Bro, MLS Cup ain't even asking about you, bro. Yeah.
It was
Chill.
surreal to see. If you are a center back and Messi's doing diving headers, Messi's Messi, and we understand that it might be embarrass you. He might cut across you, blast a curving shot. We all know his tricks, but he is also a small man. If you are a 6'2" center back and Suarez is chipping the ball over you while this dude who's like 5'8", 5'9" is doing diving headers, that's a day you can say, hey, I ain't doing my job, sir. Boss, sit me down, because this is getting this. I'm looking bad, and I'm making the team look worse. So you sort of expect that. Or you expect Messi to do well, but I thought that was kind of absurd. Some of the decisions when it comes to, and who was it that said this? Was it the Sounders
what?
the Sounders coach or something. I forgot what game it was. Oh, I think it was Greg Vanny, if I remember correctly. That Greg Vanny said that Messi, the issue with Messi is not when he has the ball. It's when he passes it. As soon as he passes it, defenders have to be like, stay with him because he's way more dangerous as soon as he gets rid of the ball. And y'all listen to Greg Vanny. That's all I'm saying because we saw more of that against Nashville. So I don't know if you had any other thoughts in this game, but I did want to talk about PTI. Did you see this clip of Michael Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser?
I saw it because I saw when you sent it to me. And let me tell you something. I was not even the slightest bit surprised that this is what happened on the show.
So let's just play it real quick so we could get so everybody can hear it and know what we're talking about.
Last one, the MLS playoffs are tonight. Inter Miami hosts Nashville SC. Who you got?
I got 3 TV screens, as you know.
Right.
None of them will have that.
Okay.
I'll have the World Series large. I'll have 2 NBA games flanking. I may click over to watch your boy wearing pink. I may do that.
Okay, so this is my issue. This is what really grinds my gears about PTI nowadays, okay? Love the show, grew up with it. I understand they're supposed to be like the old guys that have all the like traditionalist kind of takes and blah blah blah. But this is my issue with this is that they why take the time to do this? Why take the time to poo-poo soccer when it's like it's Lionel Messi playing, right? There's a little bit of at least a little bit of reverence, a little bit of respect that can be like given to that. Then my thing is, don't put it on the rundown if you're just gonna shit on it. Why waste your time talking about this part of the you gave it 8 seconds. You said really nothing positive. So would you do this with others? Would you put a tennis match as part of the rundown to talk about how you're not going to watch it, to talk about why it's uninteresting to you? Would you do this about hockey? Will you do this about F1? Why give it this energy? This is my issue a lot of times with ESPN. It's like it's not even that. It's bad enough you ignore it and you just don't talk about it. But when you do talk about it, this is the energy that you give it. And it's just like I don't necessarily expect everybody to love soccer and blah, 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 and get on board. But this can't be the alternative where it's just like, all right, we got to put it on the rundown, but let's just, I don't like that it's there. So I'm just going to talk about how I'm going to watch the World Series and all these other things. It's annoying, but it's also like, to me, such a waste of time and beneath these sort of like, quote unquote, esteemed journalists.
Can I offer a different approach or a different way to look at this?
Sure.
Because the way I look at it is, if you buy a new jacket, you love this jacket, you think it's dope, you're the only one you know who's wearing it, and then you see a 65-year-old man walk by wearing that jacket, you might be like, I should probably take this jacket off. This washed now. You know what I mean? This ain't cool at all. If Wilbon or Tony Kornheiser like something I like, I no longer like that thing. I failed. You understand? They corny. They old, bro. Those guys don't even know how to pull up streaming. The guy said he had 3 TVs, not even 3 screens. He don't know what's going on. He don't even know how to pull up Apple TV. He said he's going to flip to that channel maybe. Best of luck flipping to that channel.
Wait,
you
now
old
it
man.
makes me think that Michael Wilbon has 3 TVs with 3 different cable boxes. That's a little concerning.
First of all, and can I tell you, they all say they're all blinking noon. Okay, this guy is too old for me to care what he thinks about. If he likes something, I no longer like it. That's it. This guy for Halloween, he's gonna give out Werther's originals. This man is old.
Man, he's old, but he's on a network that millions of people watch, and it's just so again. why
The people
energy.
that MLS need to watch MLS or care about MLS aren't watching PTI, dog.
It's just
They're
it's
not. You think Lucas Bombino in between the antipasto and between the big ziti is pulling up PTI? Nah, fam. Nah, they're on
Man.
TikTok. They're on Twitch.
See,
I don't care about Wilbon. I don't care. Why do you care what Wilbon
It's
says?
not about
I
care,
hope
but
Wilbon
you know
says
what?
this show sucks because I'd be scared if he was entertained by me.
This is maybe a generational thing of like us as millennials, we grew up, we're the in-betweeners, right, of like the boomers before us, the Gen X and boomers before us, who we had to learn what they were about and what they prioritize and what they focus on. And then with Gen Z, and millennials understand Gen Z better than Gen X and boomers. So we're like the bridge. So we're like we have to deal with both. And that's why probably it affects me emotionally, because I'm watching it and I'm like, well, but I grew up with you, bro. Why are you talking like this about a thing that I like and all my young homies like? So that's the part of it where I'm like, you have this platform, and I'm not saying that you have to glaze MLS or whatever, but to actively be like, I ain't watching this because something else is better on. Like, it's childish, it's pointless, and it's not what, like, even if he tries to maintain some level of, like, it's not even about integrity, but that journalistic aura, like, that's not your job is not to talk about what you're not going to watch. That's all I'm saying.
That's also not the show. And they're less than 10 years away from getting their keys taken away. Look, I don't care what their thoughts on soccer are. I think you're the only one who still thinks like, no, grandpa's cool. Nah, dog. Grandpa drools on himself. You know what I mean? We need to move on.
One more eye test at the DMV, and they ain't getting that license renewed, bro.
Done, cooked. You're the bridge between the two. Walk over the bridge to this side. I promise you, it's a lot cooler here. The music's a little louder. The seats aren't as comfortable. But I'm telling you, it's a lot cooler.
I'm about to burn the bridge behind me, dog.
Bro, do it. Who gives a what Tony Kornheiser or Michael Wilbon thing? I didn't even know they were on TV until you sent me this clip.
We got to talk some Premier League, so let's take another break. Let's take a look around another league, the Premier League. Let's start with Liverpool. Liverpool lose again. This is what their fourth loss in the Premier League, I believe. Fourth. Not great for the champions of the Premier League. But I'm like trying to figure out what the exact problem is. There's clearly defensive issues. They play against they lose 3-2 against Brentford. Long throws, which it's not new to the game, but they are it for a team like Liverpool, especially with the center back pairing of Konate and Virgil van Dijk. It's just weird to me that they have, like, they're disoriented when it comes to defending. I mean, it leads me to believe that the injuries to like Frimpong maybe are having a big effect. I don't exactly know, but they seem somewhat lost defensively. Can you make any sense of it?
Yeah, if you listen to Arne Slot, I don't know if you caught this. He was complaining that Liverpool are facing a lot of long balls, and they didn't do that as much last season against them. So far this season, I think it's like doubled the amount that they had at this time last year, if I remember that correctly. And it's like, yeah, your people are figuring out how to get around you. And at the end of the day, that's, football is cyclical. I'm sounding like Sean Dyche. I don't know if you saw his quote where he was like, yeah, flared pants, skinny pants, flared pants, skinny pants. And, you wait long enough, the other one comes in style. And I do a terrible Sean Dyche impression. But Arne Slot is sort of complaining like, yo, they're just going above us. And it's like, well, yeah, if you're going to be, counter pressing and you're going to be pressing heavily and you're going to be crowding everybody, they're just going to be like, well, then we're going to lump it long. And I don't think Konate and Virgil van Dijk, if this is the problem with the Virgil van Dijk, and this has been my problem with having Tim Ream on the U.S. national team. You could be like, okay, well, we know that guy's a little slow, so let's just see if we can get past him. And if that's the only chance you have, you're going to keep doing it and doing it over a stretch of 90 minutes. One or two of those are going to be successful, and that's kind of what they seem to be trying to do against Liverpool, is to say, okay, yeah, you've clogged the midfield and you've made it so that we can't get through you. Well, what happens if we go around you?
Yeah.
And yeah, we're going to look bad for a while, but if one or two of these break for us, we're going to beat you. And maybe that's not the only way they've lost over that stretch of four matches, but it's clearly enough where it's causing problems. And Arne Slot, and I said this at the beginning of the season, that there would be a sophomore hump for him. He wouldn't have as much, or sophomore slump. Sophomore hump, I think you'd be pretty proud of yourself. But sophomore slump.
Sometimes people wait till senior year to do the humping, but
it takes, okay. This is diary reading time with Christian Polanco. I think I said there'd be a sophomore slump because what happens? Same thing with Hansi Flick. Yo, you bodied everybody. Well, there was an entire offseason where I know 3 or 4 stats guys were told by Mikel Arteta, you stay in this room until you figure out how to get around what they did last season. And that's not the only team. Every team is trying to figure out how to get around you. And the moment it works for one team figures it out, everyone else is going to copy it. So it's up to Arne Slot to come up with a second, third, or fourth tactic to figure this out, to counter what people might be doing for them. People complain about Arsenal. Mikel Arteta changes his tactics every season. He's advancing because he knows people already learned what I did last year. I got to change it this year. Arne, you got to figure this out.
Yeah. All right. It's always the foundation is always like, be more like Arteta. He's doing everything right. I don't understand. Just like,
wow. He went. I don't know. Did you hear the story that there was one of the like the fans was also like he's like a streamer or something. And they went to an away match. I think it might have been Champions League. And for some reason, he had to fly back with the team. Something happened where the team offered him, like, come fly with us.
Yeah.
In the middle of the flight, he was in the back. He said he was just sort of just sitting in the back, trying not to interfere. And he can see everyone's, like, watching Netflix or, clips from the game. Mikel Arteta beelines back to him. Never met him before. And he's like, you go to the matches at the Emirates? And he said, yeah, I do. He goes, have you heard the goal calls? And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's a little different this year. And the fans like, the guy's like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not just the name and the last name is different. He goes, do you think it's better? And he goes, yeah, it's it. He goes, do you think it changes the atmosphere in the stadium? He's like, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't notice it, but yeah, it's good. He goes, it's my idea. He goes, Mikel Arteta goes, but it's fun, right? And he goes, yeah, I think it's fun. He goes, thank you. And he walked away. This guy's getting into every little detail. This guy is like, are we having a good time out there? Because if not, we will burn this place down and rebuild.
He's gonna be during the game. He's gonna be pouring your beer, bro. He's
making sure there's a little ruler to make sure there's enough head on it.
I did hear that at the Emirates they turned off the TVs in the concourse so that you have to go back to your seats to watch the game. Because apparently
because people were missing the first few minutes of the second half. Because they were finishing their beers.
Ah, okay. So, all right, what happened with the Emirates? Dead stadium, bro? They're not bringing energy? What's going on?
This is the problem with not letting people drink beer in their seats. MLS, we got it like that. You feel me? Also, we're not killing each other, so maybe there's a couple reasons around. You know what I mean?
The last thing I wanted to say about the Brentford against Liverpool, and I think we haven't talked about him enough, but their new striker Igor Thiago is. I understand the Premier League has like a lot of money and they effectively get the best players. It's wild that Brentford has a striker like this, and like quote unquote way bigger teams like Everton is an example of just like they have a terrible striker situation, like where it's like
this is the issue. Why do they have so much yet I have so little? Says Christian Polanco.
But it's wild. I'm like the scouting and all this. I'm like. It's really it's one of those things where it's like simpler than I think people make it out to be, where it's like a player like that probably, has that really good season. Same thing with Mbumo, right? Manchester United got a big money move and stuff like that. But the fact that so many teams are like sort of lost when it comes to like scooping up players like that is it's sort of like shocking. Even where Brentford and they lose their coach and he goes to Tottenham and everything, and they still look like they're in almost a better position than they were beforehand. So no, but credit to Brentford. They've had a strong start and they look really good this season. All right. Next up, and this is the theme today. It's just teams losing that you don't expect to lose. Manchester City lose to Aston Villa. And we see like Champions League and we see how they perform, and I believe Erling Haaland has scored something like 90% of all of Manchester City's goals. That number could be wrong, or it's not far off. He has scored. He is the production for the team, and it's for a Pep Guardiola side. It's odd that one player is so incredibly dominant. Even when Pep Guardiola was managing Barcelona, it wasn't Messi dominating and scoring. I mean, he did it incredibly well, but the goals were spread throughout the team. And I don't know where Manchester City are in this Pep era, but they look not necessarily not lost or lazy or something like that, but they're just in an odd sort of form where if this one player doesn't produce, they got nothing from anybody else.
Yeah, and I mean, you first of all, it's not easy to go win at Villa Park, right?
Yeah.
Like, Unai Emery's done an incredible job there, and Manchester City hasn't really been the same. I know they had a 10-game win streak, but they haven't felt the same since the beginning of last season. When they started to turn, it feels like they haven't really gotten it back. I think Erling Haaland, there was a photo of somebody posted of him where it was just like him with a thumbs up and his shirt just said, I ain't doing shit today.
Okay.
It seemed like that was in reference to the game, which I thought was hilarious. But you can't depend. I mean, he is very, very good. But Manchester City, to me, has always felt like one of those teams that like you can kind of get hit from any angle. And it doesn't really feel like that this year. Savinho, is he a player of that quality? Or are they just trying to sort of salvage him as a player on this team when like in order for Pep Guardiola's system to work, every player sort of has to be exceptional. Oscar Bob has his moments, but I wouldn't call him exceptional. Savinho has his moments. I wouldn't call him exceptional. And dude, Haaland can't do it all on his own. He needs service. You know what I mean?
I think the biggest, the player with the like biggest dip in form and is Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo Silva is tough.
I
thought you were going to say Mohamed Salah.
Yeah. But it's one of those like, I'm like, is he like, are we watching the aging process take place right now? Like it's sort of shocking to see how different he is from even a year ago or even last year.
To me it's very simple. You don't have Rodri and you don't have KDB. Suddenly, you don't look as special.
Sure. Sure. KDB. I don't know if you saw he took a penalty this weekend and pulled his hamstring as he took the penalty. Because so usually
cried.
I'm so my brain rot is so Lola Banta coded that like he took the penalty, scored it, started grabbing at his hamstring, and I'm like, oh, KDB's about to work. Let's see it, bro.
Yeah.
Let's see it. And he's like, oh, no, I'm actually hurt. I can't go on. I need to be subbed out.
Yeah. Why is he crying? I thought he was about to make it clap. What's going on?
Man. So
Get
so
up,
funny.
KDB.
So, and to finish up, Arsenal, all these losses, for all these teams. I mean, I know we have a different top four than we're used to. It is Arsenal in first. It is Bournemouth in second. It is Tottenham third, and Sunderland fourth. So this is
the big four,
top four. But yeah, Champions League for all of them. Let's see it when.
Manchester United above Liverpool.
Bro, not in
Who
my
would have thought?
never in my life did I think I would see something like that. But no, this is fantastic for Arsenal. These not only that they win, they get a 1-0 win against Crystal Palace. Eberechi Eze scores a karate kick.
Crane kick.
crane
A crane kick, Doug.
Who's the what?
And he can't even celebrate.
Krylock. Remember Krylock from RSL? That was his move.
Oh, yeah.
For a while. And he does a karate kick, a fantastic goal. Can't even his first Premier League goal for Arsenal. Can't even celebrate because it's against his old team.
Yeah.
Bro.
I mean, this is why you bring a player of his quality in. Moment of brilliance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Yo, Crystal Palace are not easy to beat, man. They make it absolutely tough.
Yeah.
Even on the road. So, for Arsenal to continue this streak, obviously, I'm very happy. I'm not willing to talk about it yet, but the streets are saying that they don't really have a lot of competition this year like they had last year. This could be their year.
I mean, Bournemouth, bro. What are you talking about? Andoni
Dude,
Iraola.
If Arsenal finish second to Sunderland, I might quit this sport. I might quit the sport, dog.
Bro,
I might be
will
done.
not stop laughing for a full 365 days if that happens, bro.
You know what? And I would be like, I got it every time.
Bro. Yeah. I mean, the great for Arsenal are they're winning games but they're winning ugly. And I think this bodes well. When we were used to Manchester City dominating the league or Liverpool dominating the league, they were like handily like winning games and scoring a whole bunch of goals. It's a little bit of a concern. They're not scoring a lot, but defensively, I mean, this is one of the best teams in Europe. I mean, that's not even a stretch to say.
I think it's almost the part that's ugly is that a lot of their goals, or it feels like a lot of the first goals they score in a game come from a set piece, and they're not scoring from the run of play, and so it feels frustrating. It feels, blue balls is the only word that comes to mind. Nobody likes that. Nobody's a fan. So I think it does feel ugly, but at the end of the day, defense wins championships, and you could go back to Manchester City's run when they were winning 4 in a row. They were scoring buckets, of course, but they weren't letting people score, and that was the reason that they were winning games, is because other teams had to stretch themselves. They had to send the extra player. They had to leave space in behind, which allowed them to score. So I think Arsenal are kind of finding the same rhythm. Obviously, Gyökeres going 9 matches, clubbing country without scoring a goal and then scoring 2 in the Champions League, but not really seemingly becoming the authority in front of goal. He's sort of he's assisting the link-up play. He's been absolutely incredible. He's doing all the hard work. He's just not getting the goals to follow. So I think once that starts to click, it won't feel like this. But right now, I can understand why it feels like that. But also, you said winning ugly. And every Arsenal fan you'll ever meet will not care about that second word. They care about the first word. You win as ugly as you want. I don't care if we set piece and long ball and long throw in our way to a title. I'm going to that parade.
Amazing. All right, let's wrap up there, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll be back on Thursday with a brand new episode. Obviously, a lot of MLS playoff matches that we will be reacting to. Is Champions League back also this week as well? No. I don't think so. Okay. So we'll talk about all the MLS stuff, playoffs. So thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you follow us on all socials, especially on Blue Sky at soccercooligans.com. Head over there right now. Create an account if you haven't yet. And hit like, hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. We always appreciate your comment, your contributions. Y'all the absolute best. And shout out to everybody on Patreon as well. If you want to join the Cooligans Patreon, patreon.com/soccercooligans if you want to get on there. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on Thursday. Take care. Peace.
Love you guys.
The Premier League table looks kind of crazy right now, but all the action is in the MLS playoffs. It's happening right now. It is the end of the season, not the beginning. And we talked about it with Kevin Egan of MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. So if you want to watch that video, you can click right here. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, just click right here on the MLS ball.